It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for the Your Money segment. Today, we're talking to Colin Evans from Evans Financial about student loan tips. It's something nobody likes to talk about, student loans.
That is correct, and especially now that we're hitting all the debacle with, should the taxpayers pay this back, or you hear this from the government, is the government going to pay it back? At the end of the day, the taxpayers are going to end up footing the bill with some of it. Now, I don't want to get on either side of the fence because I think it is a little bit predatory the way that those loans are taken out, but we put together 4 tips that should really help now that we're, parents are getting ready to send some kids off to college.
Exactly,
and
coming up soon.
One of those things is understand the consequences of what you are getting into. What I mean by that is read the fine print. Because a lot of times students can go into this and they're thinking, oh, this would be great and I don't have to worry about this for a couple years down the road. And where you really need to pay attention to what is in this fine print, when do interest rates start making a plan now for paying this stuff back, because we've heard over the years, interest rates and interest is the beauty of compounding, being the 8th wonder of the world. Well, if it's working against you in a student loan, we've seen the student loan debacle and how bad that's going. So start planning for those repayments. Even while you're in school, that's okay to start planning that ahead of time and getting ahead of the curve. Some of the student loans actually do require you to pay them while you're in school, but most typically are upon graduation. So if you got that graduation on the horizon, it's time to start getting that plan in place for getting these things repaid so you don't get eaten alive by interest rates.
Right.
And it's looking at this again, the student interest rate. This is what's really getting people, especially now too. We see it with credit cards that are as high rate. The cost of tuition is skyrocketed. I'm looking at tuition. Yes, my daughter's got about 4 years to go, and I'm going, this is way more than when I went to school.
Right.
I am hoping for scholarships and grants and things like that. One of the final things is the liability for these student loans, and this is kind of a note for parents as well, because typically a lot of these student loans do require a co-signer, because typically your soon-to-be college kiddo doesn't have credit score to begin with. And keeping in mind that the parent might be on the hook for this for being a co-signer, and some things that they don't, that a lot of people don't know, and I hate really looking at a bankruptcy option when people have to go through that, but sometimes extreme circumstances cause for that. But a lot of times these student loans are not included in a bankruptcy filing, so that's something to know beforehand. I would hope that nobody wants to really take out a loan with the concept of going, I'm just going to file for bankruptcy down the road, and think they're going to get out of it, and they might not. And they, same thing with Uncle Sam paying off loans that we hear that some get them, some don't. So I wouldn't kind of go into a student loan with the anticipation or hopes that Uncle Sam is going to cover that. So it's really just put some clarity on, keeping a good head on your shoulders and really paying attention to fine print of what you're getting into, what loan terms are, what are interest rates, and when are the times that you need to start paying these things back. Awesome.
Some great information there. And I know so many people struggle with student loans and have to take them out.
It's scary just because you see it. It's like, I just finished school, now I've got this on my back, and then you talk to people that are 7-10 years down the road. It's like, I'm almost done.
That's
You're going, oh goodness, man, you're in your mid-30s. And it blows me away, but unfortunately it's a little bit of the predatory on the financial side. I do hate it that it's there, but it's really keeping a good head on your shoulders on the forend will prevent that on the backside.
Awesome. Well, again, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk with us today.
Thanks for having us.
If you missed any of this, all of this will be on our website, ktbs.com.